Can I full screen me, please? Thank you. That's better. I'll just wait. No, wait, return. No, there we go. Okay. Itchy nose. Hey everybody, my name is Pawdeen, and welcome to It Paints Me. This is a graphic novel. Yeah, what the hell are they called? Oh my god, I've played them before. Anyway, this is supposed to be really dark and horrible, which is awesome. Not horrible as in bad, but like gruesome. I can save. Every night I find myself alone in the studio, curtains drawn tight, my neat row of paints, palette, brushes, in the same place as the drawer by my easel. The canvas upon it sits, as always, unfinished, Marie's half-painted face frozen in empty song. It's late out, as it always is when I awaken here. Marie is nowhere to be found. She must still be at the theatre. Even when the curtains fall and the stage lights dim, the night is forever young to its stars sopranos. I would always wait outside her dressing room, roses in hand, scores of other bright-eyed admirers spilling through the halls, though she alone was mine, and I was hers. How romantic. It's cold, bitterly cold tonight, but still I draw the curtains and open the window wide. That's there's a stench in the room, deep and damp and sickly sweet, that I can't ever seem to get rid of. Beside that, the fumes from the linseed oil made my head spin. Like every night, I measure out my paints, arranging the small dabs of colour on my palette from the lightest to darkest. Titanium white and cardamom yellow to corpse brown and lamp black. Strange names. I wet my brush with oil and gently start mixing the pigments. Feels a little bit like magic, watching them swirl and mix, forming new colours from old. Save. Return. We'll go hair first, I guess. I blend a dark, deep red and apply it with a generous dab of oil to a patch of background that blends in with Marie's hair. I didn't have to. The paint is still wet from last night and the night before. I must have painted and repainted the same background colour countless times. To say it's difficult to paint by lamplight, by muse nowhere in sight, is an understatement, of course. But lately, these nightly hours are the only time I find myself able to lift my brush. I stop every few strokes. Spirits, it hurts. I had joked that the pain that forced me away from the tailor's shop meant I could finally return to my paintings at the very least. I was never any good at humour. Marie had sensed my worries, consoled me sweetly in her voice that could charm stone to life. Oh, Sam, don't worry. I have roles lined up for months. Go ahead and paint. We can still live comfortably. It hurt. A small part of it did, beyond the physical, beyond the ailments, to seek her permission. To be unable to care for my darling the way I had when we were young, brimming with talent, but crushingly unknown. Well, she had been. I was and still am nothing. This is depressing. These types of games usually are. But perhaps finally, it would now be my turn to bring my vision to the world. If only it didn't hurt so damn much. Time passes and I still don't manage more than a few strokes. A small patch of dark over an already wet canvas. Or perhaps time hasn't passed at all. The broken clock on the wall would suggest as much. Perhaps the seconds have lain still. The world outside unchanging and I, the only thing that moves. Have I moved? Is repeating the same brushstrokes like clockwork dull movement. I shiver and sigh. Perhaps sleep will be a better endeavour. Perhaps the next night will be more successful. I stand, setting aside my paints and palette, slowly move to shut the windows. I stop. There, out in the front garden, barely lit by a street lamp, stands a figure that can only be Marie. Where? She bids goodbye to another figure, tall and broad-shouldered, and then she laughs, a beautiful laugh, a heartfelt laugh, and embraces him, before he makes his reluctant exit to a carriage stopped by the gate. Well, she dates someone. I thought she was dead or something. I don't see anyone. Maybe she is. For a moment, I don't know what to think. A friend, a co-star, perhaps the amiable tenor she mentioned every now and then. I didn't see his face, but Marie's social circle had always eclipsed my own. It must be. But why would he come at our home? Why would she laugh that way? Drama. In the garden, in the midst of walking to the front door, humming to herself, Marie suddenly looks up. For a moment, her eyes go wide, and she blinks as if shaking herself from a daze. I instinctively step back from the window. Am I dead? My ghost? She's seen ghost? My ghost? What the heck? Perhaps it's guilt that makes me do so. Marie is finally home, and oh, I've missed her so. How could the first thing I think upon seeing my darling be the worst thoughts my mind could conjure? For the first time in many, many nights, I feel just well enough to leave the studio. I'll prepare Marie a pot of her favourite chamomile tea. I'll listen to her as she tells me of the nights, the theatre, the thousand small anecdotes she had never run out of, and maybe, just maybe, ask her again to sit for a portrait for me, like she used to. Oh, they're drifting apart. The house feels larger than it used to. Oh, shame. Perhaps I was shut in the studio too long. Still, how could I so quickly become a stranger to my own home? Uh-oh. The memories are fuzzy. The years blur together like a wash of all colours. My mother and I carrying our spare luggage, stepping inside for the first time. My stepfather laughing, his elbows on the breakfast table, chattering about something he'd read in the paper. Then silent hallways and empty rooms. Uh-oh. And then maybe welcoming my new bride to these solitary halls, hanging our newly taken portraits above the mantel. The walls will burn now. I feel the walls in the dark, leaving stickly trails of paint behind, tracing the places where I used to hang. The photographs are paintings. We save again, we save here. We're gonna return, we're gonna go painting. Oh. The paintings I'd framed, the seaside landscape, I'd painted on our honeymoon. The watercolour sketch of Marie that couldn't hope to capture the sheen of her hair. The still life of the roses in a cracked vase. Oh, how my darling loves roses. Gone. Cleared away. The naked walls still stare blankly at me. Confused, but with nowhere else to go, I continue through the house. As I walk, I pass the furniture my stepfather left me. The shelves and tables that always seemed large and grand as a boy, now missing or mantled with thick white linen. They remind me of a corpse on a hospital table, lying dead still, covered in sheets. Marie? I try to call out, but phlegm blocks my throat. I cough, long and drawn and wet, when those more attempts to voice her name. Marie? It slicks off my tongue like a serpent uncoiling. I had always loved her name, so tender and sweet, free of harsh syllables. Marie, it was a name like an impressionist flail, painted in soft strokes with a fine oil brush. Alright, we get it, you're fucking romantic about your wife. It was the greatest joy in the world to join my name to hers. Silence fills the halls, a long drawn-out silence. I held breath. Finally, my darling answers. Oh, Christ. Sam. Is this a dream? We're fucking dead, aren't we? We're dead or something. I cough again. Another long, wet trail dripping from my lips. I'm dead. Is it a good dream, darling? I don't know. It feels like a nightmare. An awful, wretched nightmare. I limp towards the sound of her voice, so musical, so lovely, even at the brink of tears. Don't cry, darling, I want to say, but thick, syrupy fluid fills my throat. No matter what troubles you, I am here. She stands at the edge of the staircase, shaking, a candlestick in hand. The steps are sticky and wet. I inch carefully, practically at a crawl, not to slip. My darling lifts the candle as I approach, in the dark of the house. Its flickering flame almost blinds me. I don't see the expression on her face as she screams. Marie? Where are you? What the hell is happening? Every word feels like a dagger puncturing my throat. I limp down each hall, leaving a trail of steps that feel damp and heavy, slick and wet. I tried the door to our bedroom. No, Marine's room. I had started sleeping in the spare one, where my coughing fits would wake her in the night. It was cold, so cold and alone, but my darling needed her rest. Okay, so I'm dying. I'm not dead yet, maybe. He's mentioning a lot of things about hospitals and shit. The knob is slick and hard to twist, my hand slipping at the brass. Finally, I managed to push the door open. Am I gonna find my body? Though it's completely dark when I peer inside, I know it's empty. No warmth, no flesh, no sound, a sweet breath within. I continue down the hall. I trudge, my steps heavy and wet, trying not to slip over the thick, slick surface. Marie, what's wrong, darling? Please come out, I don't understand. The dining room is empty. Truly empty. The shelves where the china and silverware were once neatly stacked now gape, hollow. The walnut table is covered in a thick white sheet, the matching set of chairs removed. I rest against the blanketed table. My hand leaves a ruddy smear against the sheet. Must be more paint, though it's hard to make out in the dark. I needed spectacles for quite some time, but Marie never liked the bookish type. Well, too fucking bad, you need glasses. I continued on through the familiar yet unfamiliar house, my steps strained and slow, my breath short, sticky and wet. Marie, where are you? Oh, Marie, it hurts. Won't you come to me? I hear the front door slam shut. It must be freezing cold out. Why has she gone to the garden? I tread to the sound with new urgency, uncaring of the sticky wet floors, forgetting for just a moment the pain that snaps and burns through my flesh. What? Am I dying? I reach for the oily damp knob. Oh, hi. Don't, Sam, please. Her voice rings from behind the door. I don't understand, darling. Have I done something to upset you? Her sobs echoed loudly. I never thought an ugly sound could come from my darling's lips, but her words. I love you, Sam, I always will, but I can't bear to see you like this. Please, I beg you, return to where you came. You can't be here. I've moved on now. Yeah, so we dead, and she moving her new boyfriend in. What? Returned where? Dearest, you aren't making sense. Moved on? I'm your husband, Marie. What on earth is there to move on from? Please remember, Sam. You were ill. You were ill for a long, long time. You never recovered. I know that I'm unwell, Marie, but you said we would still... Are you leaving me? Because I can't care for you anymore? Is that why? You left me. Oh, dead. I thought... You're dead, Sam. I knew it! Yes! I mean, no, that's sad. You've been dead for more than a year. But I knew it, though. Is this a joke, darling? It's a cruel one. Do you want me dead? Is that it? Am I better off dead to you? My darling does nothing but sob behind the door. How quickly I regret my words. Oh, if only I could see her face, look into her eyes, reassure her and see that she loves me still. I twist the knob with slick, oily hands. No, don't come out, please. On the other end, with a sharp gasp, my darling grasps the knob closed, pushing the weight of her small frame against the withered wood. Don't come out. Return. We're gonna let her go. We're gonna accept that we're dead. And then I'll come back and force the door open. But we'll let her go for now. I let go of the door, my hand slicking off its oily surface. Forgive me, Marie. I can see you don't wish to speak to me right now. But whatever you do, whenever this is about, I'll be waiting in the studio. I leave the door. I leave my darling alone, sobbing in the garden. Bit odd, innit? Eh? Your dead husband's like painting you in the attic while you got your new bloke in the house. Bit awkward, that, innit? It's dark, so very dark, but dawn will soon paint that dim black sky. I retrace my slick, wet footsteps through the hall, up the staircase, one trudging damp step at a time. Spirits, it hurts, it burns. I feel no breath in my lungs. My chest could be a hollow cavity, slippery and wet, spilling with hot, sickly fluid. It hurts. Oh, it hurts. I stagger into a tall, sheet-covered object, the linen sliding off with a grasp of my clumsy, slick fingers. Oh, we're gonna see ourselves? It's Marie's floor-length mirror. Oh, if a ghost sees himself in a mirror, they know they're dead. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, holy God, I understand why she ran away. You know, actually, you kind of, you're like, you'd be an attractive if you had a face. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh my God. If that's what ghosts look like, holy shit. Yeah, what did you die of? Why do you look like that? I'm in the studio, a dark, dim studio, and empty as it is every night. The curtains are shut, the lamps are unlit. My palette is a mess of murky colours, rust reds, corpse browns. A musky, sickly, sweetly rotting stench fills the room. It's probably sweaty as well. I don't know why the smell of linseed oil ever bothered me. It's probably the smell of your rotten corpse. After all, I no longer breathe. You don't have a face. The handle of the door turns behind me. Slowly it creaks open and a figure steps inside. It's me. What do you mean it's me? You haunting yourself? He limps more than he steps in crooked motion against the floor, dragging his body along like a wet, wide brush, as swaths of red pool at his feet. I watch him pull himself up before the canvas. Samuel. Ugh. He speaks in my mother's voice, a pitched cry of command and dependency, derision and affection, pride and disappointment. Give me your suffering. Oh, give up your... Don't give me it. Give up your suffering. Give up this. Come into the earth with me. My hands are too slick to hold my brush. I stab it into my flesh and fix it between my bones, then dip the bristles into his blood. Okay, great. I'm insane. Sammy? Oh, hell are you doing? He speaks in my stepfather's voice. Wistful, choking back tears, the same cadence of his goodbye as he hugged me against his uniform, the dog tags cold around his neck. Oh, I was a soldier. Don't suffer anymore, Sam. Forget your pain. You are nothing already. Come into the void with us. Well, that's just a little rude. It's a bit rude. My brush is drying. I plunge into his chest, wet it with his oily breath. Sam. He speaks with my voice, hoarse, raspy, and tired. So very, very tired. This won't make you worthy of love. Not the world's, not Marie's, not your friends, or peers, or critics. Come back to our grave, end our suffering. You know I don't do this for love. I clean my brush with a paint thinner, knocking over the jar as it spills across the drawer and onto the wet, soaking floor. I dry the bristles with my worn, rotting shirt, then soak it in the thick white mucus of his tears. My words are only partially true, just as his words are not fully wrong. Neither my rotting corpse nor the memory of what was once Sam will gain a thing from this toil. I paint the hours away, or perhaps take no time at all. The clock on the wall never turns its hands, suggesting that this world lies still. The seconds never pass, and I am the only thing that moves within it. It hurts. Oh, it hurts. Heavy, syrupy tears flood my vision, fill my throat and chest, choking me. Every moment of my hands leaves crackings, and it's left of my brittle bones. I can't focus. There's hair on my nose, and it's making me itchy. He stares at me all the while, silent, still like a mirror. I would not feel comfortable like that. If I loved him, I would stop. I would crawl into my grave like he wishes. But I love this more than I love myself. I birth him from within me as I create, so too am I born. And he and I are beautiful. Well, he's got a face now. Ending 2, self-portrait. Great, I got the second ending first. I'm guessing that's the happy ending. Great. Did we give up? I hope so. Thank you for playing. That was dark. But now we're gonna get the first ending, and I'm guessing that one's gonna be even darker. Okay, we're gonna load it. Actually, I want to see what the other two things are. Let's say paint the face first. I mix a tone as pale as her skin, apply it with a generous dab of oil onto the Marie on my canvas, but the paint just doesn't blend. The colour of her cheeks stand out like a garish smear. I sigh and scrape it off with a palette knife and mix a deep blend of black and red for a background instead. I must have painted and repeated the same background countless times that it is now just black. To say it's difficult to paint by lamplight, my muse nowhere in sight, is an understatement of course, but lately these nightly hours are the only time I find myself being able to lift a brush. Oh, is this the same? I stop every few strokes, spirits it hurts. La da da. I had joked that the paint forced me away from tailor shop meant I return paintings at least. I was never good at humour. Marie had sense worries, consoled me, blah da da. Sam, don't worry, rolls, yep. I think this is the same. I think it's just that last two that are important, so. Be on this head, I'll just make sure. Brimming with, to be able to care for my darling the way I was young, bringing. Well, she had been. Nothing. Okay. Right, we're going to skip and we're going to go to this one. We're going to look at the photographs this time. The walls are laid bare. The pictures that hung on the pale wallpaper are gone. Blurry grey photographs of my parents, myself as a boy, Marie. Oh, so many pictures of Marie, each displayed in a filigree frame. Gone. That's it. Pale wallpaper stands bare, stripped of its bones. Confused, but with nowhere else to go, I continue through the house. As I walk past the furniture my stepfather left me, tables that remind me of a corpse. I wonder why. Marie, I call out, la-di-di-da, we're going to load to the door. Force the door open. Yeah. No, not until you tell me what's going on. Are you leaving me, darling, after everything? I need you. I need you. Oh shit, my darling utters a sharp cry as the hinges groan against the frame, loosening her grip as she stumbles back on the cobblestone path. I instantly forget her sharp words as I limp towards her side. Uh-oh. Marie, are you alright? I'm so sorry. Stop it, Sam. I'll keep you alive. Every time I sing, I'll sing for you. I'll keep you in my song, in my art. Oh, but it hurts. Her shrill voice grates against the ooze spilling forth from my ears. It hurts. It hurts. My head rings, my chest is hollow cavity, slippery and wet, flowing with hot, sickly fluid. I cough and spew more syrupy, warm liquid from my lips. Your art, it was always about you. Your frame, your voice, your needs, your wants, your desires. You were a work of art, of course, but did you ever think about me? Did you ever think about poor Sam dying alone in a cold white room? Poor Sam, who couldn't even hold a brush in his hands at the end. Poor Sam, left to rot into nothing. A year with all it took to forget me. I am shaking her, leaving seams of dark, muddy paint over her pale shoulders. The next moment she breaks from me, running blindly into the street. Okay, this one's a lot darker. The car doesn't stop for her. Of course it doesn't. My dearest is a wisp of dark curls, a black gown billowing in the night like a shade. She should be light as a breath, soft as mist. Oh, she gets fucking run over. But the song that comes and the scream of her breaking bones, her ripping flesh, the breath that leaves her lungs. She got hit by a wagon, not a truck. Holy hell. Ah, but every sound my darling makes is beautiful. I'm going insane. Oh my god. I scoop her massive flesh and deep crimson hair in my hands. Her blood pools around me, syrupy and dark, a color so deep no artist's pigment could hope to capture. The purest scarlet or vermilion red, a dull stain in comparison. It is not Sam that I see staring back at the deep pool of our blood. Oh, there I am. Hi. Ugh. My darling is a lovely creature, even broken. I gently carry her up the steps, one slick, damp, crooked step at a time, setting her mass of jutted bone, of viscera and flesh, on the velvet seat in my studio. The fabric soaks in deep, so very deep. It's dark, as it is every night. I leave the lamps unlit, the window shut tight. How strange that the stench of linseed oil ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. My darling sits still, ever so still, not a breath escaping her broken flesh. What a lovely model. Oh, what a wonderful thing. All the more beautiful now that it surely hurts to sing. Oh, it is agony to hold a brush, it always is, but I can bear it. After all, who could truly create without pain? I was wondering why the credits had a voice in it. Oh, lovely! Oh my god. Aren't you just a happy couple? Ending 1, Muse. Yep, that one was a lot darker. Holy hell. Okay. Oh, I've got a gallery. Oh. Oh, that's cool. How nice. Okay, so that was... What was it called again? Because it was very good. It Paints Me. Very clever. I really like this. I really like these kinds of games, these novel kind of games. Because they can get really dark. And even though it is just a bunch of reading and sometimes it's options to play bits, it's really good. And God, is it dark. But I love it. It's so freaking good. And it was creepy and weird and just... Ah! I really love that. And I know this person has another game that's in a same style, I believe. So I'll be adding that to the list as well, because this one was really good. So if you want to play It Paints Me for yourself, there will be a link in the description below for you to play it. And if you enjoyed this video, which I really hope that you did, then leave a like and comment about whatever you may like, I don't mind. Subscribe and ring the bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. And thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, whatever time it is. And I will see you next time, so bye!